Jake, welcome back, brother. So aggressive.
I got guns.
How are you?
I'm good, man. I got a gun, different than the guns I normally shoot, which
Correct.
makes it interesting to talk about.
Cool. We're out here today in this frozen hellscape of Utah.
Yeah, it's brisk.
Putting our lives on the line for you guys. And today we're talking about the Shadow Systems MR920L. Before we get into that though, this was provided by our boys over at Peace of Mind Guns.
Yeah, this came from them.
Yeah, this came from them. They carry them. They have the lineup. They have a lot in stock. They are phenomenal. Anything of the Gucci brands or the Gucci category when it's in relation to firearms, they have. They probably have in stock. And we're talking your Noveskis, your LMTs, which is...
I want to try both of those, man. I'm dying to try both of those.
I want an LMT so bad as well as a Noveski. And at this point, the new Noveski is probably going to be released, the new chainsaw, and they have them.
Yeah.
So they have a very special relationship with Noveski. And anyways, Peace of Mind Guns. There's a code, New Year 1911, which will save you 5% off the entire website. Which,
damn good deal.
If we have, you know, let's say $3,000 chainsaw from Noveski, what does that save us? 5 carried the 10, 3.
$27.
Is it
more?
No, it's like $198.
Sure, yeah, hell yeah, that is.
Is that right?
Probably
no one knows
not.
math.
Probably
okay.
not. But
you guys do the math in the comment section and let us know. Anyways, we're gonna move on. Thank you, Peace of Mind. Let's get into the MR920L. So, and I guess you have both been Glock whores at some point in our firearms journey.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere,
right?
Dig, such a dig.
And both of us were Glock guys at the height of the Gucci Glock market.
Yes.
Meaning I have owned a Salient, I've owned an Agency, I've owned a Zev.
Yep.
There's another one.
I owned one from Fowler before Fowler was doing 2011.
Fowler.
Yeah.
I've owned them all. I've shot them all, and you know, that you're looking at like $2,500, $2,800 guns when you're all said and done. You want to send a Glock off to get all that done?
Yeah.
Dude, you're spending a pretty penny.
Yeah.
And the first point I want to make about this gun, and the first thing I'm going to talk about is it's just over $1,000. To get you the exact price, we are at $1,059, and that is off of the website, Peace of Mind's website specifically.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, you want to save 5% off. It's going to cut it down even.
Yeah.
Right. Which
it's right at $1,000.
It'd be right at $1,000.
Yeah.
So why I'm bringing that up right out the gate as the price is because I think, and I'm going to go ahead and say this before we even talk, if you're going to try to buy a Gucci Glock in the market today or send your Glock off to get it Gucci'd out, I think you're doing a disservice. Just get this.
I think it's probably a very fair point.
For $1,000?
Yeah.
Look, man, I'm telling you. Like an optic cut, 150 to 250, somewhere around there.
Sure.
You want to get lightning cuts, you want to get serrations, you want to get a threaded barrel. Right? I mean, a threaded barrel alone is going to run you 180 to 250.
Sure, yeah.
So I think if you're looking to buy a Gucci Glock,
you know,
dude, it checks every single box at $1,000.
It really is, I mean, amazing value. And I say this as someone like, I'm not a Glock guy. I will no doubt have criticisms of this. It won't be a perfect product, nothing is, but it's like, man, at that price, shit, son. Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Relationship with Shadow Systems too, as we're getting more into the kind of meat and potatoes. I reached out, no one contacted me. So all good. People get busy, we understand it, but I did reach out trying to get a response because I wanted some questions answered and just couldn't get a response. So is what it is, no big deal. What comes in the box, right? You have your firearm. It comes with thread locker for your optics, which is cool. Good on them for just including that.
Yeah, nice.
You get a nice bag. You get 2 Magpul Glock mags, okay? Owner's manual, and that's it.
Okay.
So nothing, you know, super fancy, but also for $1,000, it's what I would expect.
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
Striker fired pistol, obviously. Barrel length on this. This is the Elite series, which is threaded barrel, and the slides have some cutouts and some serrations from the other models, but that's what the Elite series entails.
And the price that we've said is on this model?
Yes, sir.
Wow, man.
Yep.
I love when you call me sir, like I'm your boss.
It's habit because I'm a man with I'm a gentleman with what's the word? Manners, and you're not. So.
That's
right.
Fair.
Barrel length 4.5 inches. Finished black nitride. We are at 22 ounces unloaded. Now this is a unique setup because it's a compact frame with a long slide.
Yeah.
So it's the reverse of a 19X, which is a shorter
Yeah,
slide,
yeah.
bigger frame.
Which
right?
I actually prefer this.
Well,
yeah.
and again, this is the point I'm getting to. A lot of guys back in the heyday, like Chris Costa, all those guys,
Yeah.
would
Grip
take
chops.
a full 17 and send it off for a grip chop.
Yep.
Bro, for $1,000, look, this is a no-brainer if you're a Glock guy and want a Gucci Glock. I'm sorry, there's no
Yeah.
argument. This gun fits all the bills.
Yeah.
The difference between the combat and elite pistols, just to clarify a little bit more, is off their website. Elite pistol model is, well, the difference is solely in the slide and the features on the slide. The combat pistol models feature directional serrations in the front and rear. Combat models can be configured with or without the optic cut. The elite slides just come with all that right out the gate.
Okay.
Okay?
Jeez, what's the other one cost then?
I didn't even look that
I mean, it's
price
got to
up,
be
and I
even
guess I should have.
less. I mean, it's even less though.
Yeah, I guess I should have looked that up. I'm sorry.
All good, but I mean, it's probably like, I don't know, $900 or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
Barrel is 416R steel. They also have their barrels with, they machine them so there's tighter lockup on the lug, so you get a little bit increased accuracy, which again, you remember when people were custom fitting barrels for the Gucci Glocks?
Yeah, Logan Fowler was. He was the king of that.
Look at all these checks in the pros box I'm giving you. Like
Yeah.
this thing is really checking a lot of boxes. And then one of the cool things they have is their NPOA frame. Take a stab at that. What's NPOA stand for?
MPOA, nonpartisan. I'm out. That's all I got.
NPOA, natural point of aim frame.
I was on the right path though.
Nonpartisan.
Nonpartisan was all I could come up with.
They say on their website it's a groundbreaking frame that helps correct the standard grip angle of a standard Glock frame. I will say the cool thing about their frame also is machined or laser engraved in, however they do it, it's the texture, which is aggressive enough for good grip, but not so aggressive it, tears up your belly. What are you doing over there, bud?
I was just gonna take it apart, but I
You don't
can't
need to.
grip it.
That's okay.
Well, I'm just fiddling. I'm fiddling around.
Also machined into it with texture are gas pedals for your support side thumb, which I, again, am a fan of, right?
Yeah.
Removable magwell. It sports their patent pending multi-foot optic cut, which, depending on your optic, can be mounted low enough to run those iron sights. Like, depending on the optic.
Jeez, really?
This one, not this one. Depending on the optic, it's still low enough you can run standard sights and use them as backup irons.
Okay. I would not have thought that
yeah.
because this optic's pretty high. I'm gonna be honest.
Dude, what did I just say 3 times? Not that optic.
I was taking the gun apart. I was busy.
I just said it 3 times.
Tune back in when I can tune back in. Yeah, carry on. Okay. Onward and upward.
You're such a bitch. And last but not least, we're at a 4.5 to 5 pound trigger. Now, triggers are something people always talk about with Glocks and Gucci Glocks and all that stuff. I will say back in the day, the agency full trigger build was my favorite trigger.
Definitely better than this, yeah.
Are you out of your mind?
Really? I'd take
No.
an agency trigger over this.
No, so see, this is what happens when you don't let me finish my sentences. I will take that trigger over the agency package all day.
Really?
Yeah, that trigger is really, really good for a Glock. On top of, there's a tactile, almost pushing your trigger finger forward to the reset without adding extra pound as you start to press the trigger again.
Okay. I would take an agency trigger.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. That's just
You don't
me.
know what you're talking about, but it's okay. I have probably 400 to 600 rounds through this, 400, 600 rounds through it. I've been shooting a decent amount. I've been carrying it. It has maintained 0 the entire time. The gun has not had a single malfunction. It looks cool aesthetically. And I really think, again, for everything that I just listed, it may not be the most like crazy over the top review, but for everything you're gonna get from an agency, salient, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, send your own Glock off, get a frame chop, yada, 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 for $1,000, this should be your only option.
Yeah, I think that's all pretty fair. I do like they've got that little like beaver tail thing on the back of the frame.
Well, it's their NPOA frame, sir.
Yeah.
For those asking, sorry, it is like a Gen 4 frame.
Okay.
For like the way I can always tell is mag release. Gen 3 has a half the size mag
Yeah,
release. Gen
yeah.
4, 5 would be the bigger mag release.
Yeah.
Ish, if you wanted a frame. Oh, and sorry, last thing. You can also remove the magwell if you want, but that is included in the $1,000 price tag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, for sure, value is spot on. To me, shooting this today was a little interesting because, I mean, unless it's reviewing something, like I almost exclusively shoot 1911s and 2011s.
Correct.
And most of them are pretty decent, you know.
And here and
like
there a P30L.
Yeah, which it's just a different animal, you know. But it's like I'm so used to shooting those and that recoil impulse and that trigger system
Sure.
that you know, it makes it really tough to go back to a Glock.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does.
That's why your opinion on this review right here doesn't fucking matter at all.
Yeah, well, it you know, it's one of those things where it's like, hey, depending on what you're into, that's a slam dunk.
It's a slam dunk. If you're a Glock Palmer guy,
no brainer.
nope, like
No brainer.
there is no argument.
Yeah, if you're like, hey, I run, you know, staccatos and atlases and shit like that, I'm thinking about getting this, should I? What depends? Like, what do you want it for?
Probably not for
like,
you.
is this going to be your all-purpose range gun? Well, you would never shoot this over those things. Like, stick with what you got. But if you're like, oh, I want, you know, something like I can throw in the truck.
Or a
and,
Gucci Glock.
Yeah, or take camping or some
Sure.
kind of shit or something. And you're just like, okay, yeah, for sure. But it's like, again, depending on what you're into, that's a kick-ass gun at a fantastic price point.
Yep.
I think it's kind of that simple.
Dude, it's part of the reason why I really wanted to talk to them is like, obviously no trade secrets, proprietary information, whatever. I want to know how they did it. And they've just done a very good job. I think if you're in the market for a Gucci Glock or want like a upgrade your standard Glock and like send it off, I think you're better suited to actually just buy this.
I would. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I would.
It's warranted through the manufacturer for everything.
Yeah.
So there's an argument too.
I mean, hell, you could buy 2 of these for the price that you would spend on a Gucci Glock. Because if you're like, oh, what, you know, Glock's known to be so reliable, like, how do I know it's going to be as good? Okay,
Glock
cool.
clone.
Well, how about this? For the same price, buy 2 of these and have
let
a
us
complete
know.
backup.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you really could. I mean, the price is kind of stunning, honestly.
I would have really loved to talk to someone to see how they were able to do that, if they would even tell me.
Yeah.
One little thing is the serrations get hung up as you're reholstering. It's just part of serrations. But at the end of the day, I think it's a really good option. If you're in the market for a Gucci Glock and you don't want to spend $2,500,
You shouldn't.
One, you shouldn't. 2, just get this, guys. It does everything you want it to do at a phenomenal price point.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
Cool.
I think last but not least, you need to talk.
Yeah, I was just going to say, for those of you who are just, you're like, I really want to find a way to support those guys. How do I do it? Here's a couple of great ways that you could do it. One, we are actually a real estate company behind the scenes. We like, you know, kind of normal, regular stuff, guys. Don't make it more complicated than it needs to be. We don't need to go down fantasy land with your real estate needs, but like, hey, you know, a house, you know, like normal shit. Like that's what we do. And we do it pretty much all over the country. So 1911syndicate.com, you can check that out. We've got the Patreon that's also linked below. A lot of great stuff going on there now. We do like giveaways every week. You get a sticker pack at certain tiers, behind the scenes stuff. There's private classes that are only open in the year 2023 to Patreon subscribers. There's all kinds of great stuff. You guys can go learn about that. And then I guess we got FLP. We should shout
my
out
boys
to.
over at Firearms Legal Protection. Want to thank you guys for taking care of us, but also taking care of people with their concealed carry insurance needs, right? If you are in a legally justified self-defense scenario with a legally owned firearm, they will take care of you. They have several different packages that are actually they fit a lot of different ranges of what most people need. You need the single guy package because you don't got to care about anyone else but yourself.
Correct.
Me, I travel a lot and I care about my wife. They got a package to cover both of us. So it works out pretty well.
Yeah, and there's a code 1911. It saves you a good chunk off the subscription. It's probably not as much as you guys think, honestly. Like the base one's like $10 a month with the discount, and the other one's like $22 a month. If you got like 12 kids or some shit because you live in Utah, then you can get the family one, and it's like $39 or something.
And to pay for it, just forego Starbucks 1 day a week for 4 weeks, and you can pay for your monthly subscription every month.
Problem solved.
So
Problem solved.
I mean, you know. Anyways. We appreciate you guys watching. Take care of yourselves. Be safe out there, and we'll see you next time.